ഞാൻ നോക്കിയിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു ഇതിൽ രാത്രി ഇൻഡിഗോ ഉണ്ടോ ഒരെണ്ണം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ ഇപ്പം നോക്കിയിട്ട്
ഇയർലി കരിയർ കുടുംബത്തിൻ്റെ കാര്യം സാറ് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല, രണ്ടാമത് ഞാൻ പറയേണ്ട കാര്യം ഹസ്ബൻഡ് കുടുംബം ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല, അപ്പോൾ ഞാനത് പറയേണ്ട കാര്യം
ഞാൻ നോക്കാം. 1-ാം തീയതി മോണ്ട ദിവസം 8-ാം തീയതി രാത്രി പോയിട്ട് 9 അവിടെ പ്രോഗ്രാം 10 രൂപ ഉണ്ട്. 10-ന് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 9-ാം തീയതി വൈകുന്നേരം തിരിച്ചെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ 2 ദിവസമൊക്കെ മാറണം.
അല്ല സാറ് 9-ാം തീയതി വൈകുന്നേരം പോകും
തിരിച്ചു അന്ന് പോകുന്ന ഫ്ലൈറ്റ് നമ്മൾ എന്നുള്ളതേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാവരും അവിടെ 2 മണിക്കൂറൊക്കെ ബാംഗ്ലൂർ ഇവരെ കൺവെൻഷൻ 7-ാം തീയതി കൊരന്തയോ അങ്ങനെയാണ്. അതാ ഞാൻ ഇവരോട് ചോദിച്ചത്. ഇതിപ്പോ 10-14,000 രൂപ ടിക്കറ്റോ പിന്നെ അവസാനം ക്യാൻസൽ ചെയ്യാൻ ചിലപ്പോ അത് ഒരു പൈസ പോലും കിട്ടും.
രാജധാനി അല്ല ഇല്ലാതോ
7-ാം തീയതി
കൊണ്ടായി
7-ാം തീയതി കുറെ
ഫ്ലൈറ്റിൽ
രാത്രിയിലത്തെ രാജധാനിക്ക് പോകുന്നു. 7-ാം തീയതി രാത്രിയിലത്തെ രാജധാനിക്ക് പോകുന്നു. 8-ാം തീയതി രാവിലെ ട്രെയിനിന് പോകുന്നു. എല്ലാവരും പോലെ
Honorable Mr. Justice K. Vinod Chandran, Judge of this Honorable Court, Honorable Mrs. Justice Shircy V, Honorable Judges of the High Court of Kerala, Honorable Mr. Justice T.S. Gobinathan, former judge of this court, who is present here, the President of Kerala High Court Advocates Association, the Chairman of the Bar Council of Kerala, the President Kerala High Court Senior Advocates Association, the President Federation of Women Lawyers Kerala High Court Unit, law officers of the state, Assistant Solicitor General, Senior Central Standing Counsel, Taxes and other law officers of the central government, senior advocates, esteemed fellow members of the bar, Registrar General, registrars and staff of the High Court, staff of the Advocate General's Office, advocate clerks, Dr. P.K. Balachandran, husband of Justice Shircy V, other family members of Justice Shircy V, ladies and gentlemen, and all other dignitaries joining online. Delineating the marked distinction between ordinary government servants and judges, and underscoring the necessity to adhere to impeccable integrity in discharge of judicial functions, the Honorable Apex Court in Chandel RC versus High Court of Madhya Pradesh and another, 2012-8, SEC 58 remarked, High Court. The office that a judge holds is an office of public trust. A judge must be a person of impeccable integrity and unimpeachable independence. He must be honest to the core with high moral values. When a litigant enters the courtroom, he must feel secured that the judge before whom his matter has come would deliver justice impartially and uninfluenced by any consideration. Unquote. Today, we have gathered here to honor and bid farewell to Honorable Mrs. Justice Shircy V, an erudite judge of this Honorable Court, demitting office on the forenoon of 31/5/2021 on attaining the age of superannuation after about 3¼ decades of impeccable justice dispensation, certainly living up to the public trust reposed on the judiciary and manifestly epitomizing institutional and individual integrity. Without any iota of doubt, it can be doubly reiterated that Justice Shircy V has been a competent and diligent judge who upheld and exemplified judicial independence and always instilled on the lawyers and the litigants the security of being rendered with impartial justice. Her Lordship was born at Todupuzha on 31/5/1960 as one among the 4 children of late K.V. Vasu and late P.T. Saraswati. Her Lordship's parents were employed in the administrative side of the district judiciary. Her Lordship's father retired from service as the Shircy of the Court of the Chief Judicial Magistrate, Todupuzha, and mother as Central Nasser District Court, Idukki at Todupuzha. It would have certainly been a matter of pride for her Lordship's parents, who were employed as court staff, to see 2 of their children rise through the excellence of the judiciary, her Lordship and her Lordship's sister, late Shiny V, who untimely expired in February 2021 after retiring as a district judge from the higher judicial service of the state. Her Lordship completed the secondary school education from Government Girls' High School, Todupuzha, and did pre-degree course at Newman's College, Todupuzha. In 1981, Her Lordship graduated in Commerce from St. Teresa's College, Ernakulam, and later, in 1984, obtained law degree from Government Law College, Ernakulam. Her Lordship enrolled as a lawyer on 16/4/1984 and started practice at Todupuzha as junior of Advocate K.T. Thomas. Her Lordship soon became noted at the bar and among the litigant public as a hardworking junior lawyer who used to present cases after meticulous preparation of the briefs. Her Lordship, at a comparatively young age of 28, that too within about 4 years of commencement of practice, joined the judiciary on being selected and appointed as Munsif at Pathanamthitta on 11/7/1988. Her Lordship later officiated as Munsif Magistrate at Perambra, subordinate judge at Thrissur, Kozhikode, Kochi and Kottayam, and Chief Judicial Magistrate at Thrissur. On being promoted to the Kerala Higher Judicial Service as District Judge, Her Lordship officiated as the presiding officer at the Motor Accidents Claims Tribunal at Attapallam, as Judge at the Family Courts at Kozhikode and Thrissur, as Additional District Judge at Ernakulam, Kozhikode and Thrissur, and as Principal District Judge at Mancheri, Thalassery and Thiruvananthapuram. While officiating as the Principal District Judge at Thiruvananthapuram, Her Lordship also had occasion to serve as the chairperson of the Administrative Committee of the Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple at Thiruvananthapuram. Her Lordship was sworn in as Additional Judge of this Honorable Court on 5/10/2015 and was appointed as a permanent judge on 16/10/2018. During Her Lordship's tenure of just above 6 years as a judge of this Honorable Court, Her Lordship, or the bench of which Her Lordship was part of, rendered scores of judgments, of which more than 11 dozens of judgments, laying down about 400 new principles of law, were reported as judicial precedents by law journals. In Safe Development Arms Trust, SDA Trust and others versus State of Kerala and others, 2019 1 KHC 1, a division bench of my lord was part of held that there could not be any further subclassification of a minority community, and that right of a minority community under Article 31 would not entitle it to categorize its beneficiaries into different groups within the community itself. This judgment paved way for meritorious candidates from the respective community getting admission. In Kerala Private Medical College Management Association versus State and others, in 2019 1 KHC 567, a division bench of which my lord was part of, inter alia held that students could not be compelled to furnish bank guarantees to colleges for fees payable by them in respect of subsequent years of course, and that such stipulation would prevent many meritorious students from pursuing their studies for want of sufficient funds. This judgment brought respite to the students and parents from the unethical demands of managements for exorbitant bank guarantees, thus also reinforcing meritocracy. In Alexander Elias Samkutti versus Jainama and others, 2021 KHC 488, Your Lordship examined the nuances and principles of acceptance of a gift in terms of Section 122 of the Transfer of Property Act. Your Lordship examined the scope of jurisdiction of Sessions Court in terms of Section 227 of the Criminal Procedure Code in Bishop Franco Mulakal Punjab versus State of Kerala, 2024 KHC 286. In Radish PT versus State of Kerala and another, 2021 KHC 4686. Your Lordship, in the aspect of production of documents by sureties for the purpose of taking an accused on bail, held that rejection of records documents produced by sureties belonging to scheduled tribes living in poverty for a person belonging to a weaker section of the community was unjust, unreasonable, and unfair. Your Lordship further went on to hold that the reason for financial poverty or poor living conditions should not be a reason for deprivation of personal liberty. In Shivakumar versus State of Kerala, 2021 4 KHC 416, my lord was pleased to note the travails of child victim of an abuse case being repeatedly summoned for further examination, and the harassment the said child would have to undergo in the witness box, repeatedly reciting events and facing sharp and piercing questions, which would have an adverse and negative impact on the child. Your Lordship held that recalling a child victim as a witness could be justified only in very exceptional cases, and cautioned that the defense lawyers had to examine such a witness carefully, ensuring that all relevant questions are explored in the first instance itself and should not attempt to recall again and again. Your Lordship brought to rest the uncertainty in law due to the interplay between conflicting judgments of coordinate benches of this Honorable Court with regard to the right of an accused to get the B sample of toddy tested in terms of Rule 8.2 of the Kerala Abkari Shops Disposal Rules 2002 by making a detailed order of reference, which a reference was answered by the division bench in Krishnan, MC, and another versus State of Kerala and another. While deciding the question as to how to proceed against a person who is not an Indian citizen and committed offences outside India, Your Lordship, in Jose Olakengil versus State of Kerala, reported in ILR 2002 Kerala 605, held that if offence was committed by a person who is not an Indian citizen in a foreign country, the local police has no jurisdiction to investigate the offence committed by him outside India. 1979-1982 LLB batch of Government Law College Ernakulam had the rare distinction, unique privilege, and seemingly unbreakable record of contributing 7 judges to this honorable court, including Justice Shircy, Justice V.K. Mohan, Justice P.R. Ramachandra Menon, Justice C.K. Abdul Rahim, Justice P.V. Asha, Justice A.M. Shafiq, and Justice B. Sudhindra Kumar, who had already demitted office, were Your Lordship's classmates. Her Lordship is married to Dr. P.K. Balachandran, who retired as Professor and Head of Department of Dermatology, Medical College Hospital, Alappuzha, and the couple have been blessed with a daughter, Namita Neetu Balachandran, advocate by profession. Apart from this, late Shiny, retired district judge whom I referred to above, Her Lordship's other siblings are Dr. Shirley Vasu, retired principal, Government Medical College, Thrissur, and Sri Maxwell V., retired Chief Manager, State Bank of India, Thodupuzha. On behalf of the entire legal fraternity of the state of Kerala, I wish my Lord more and more years of happy and fruitful life ahead. Thank you.
Honorable Mr. Justice K. Vinod Chandran, Honorable Mrs. Justice V. Shircy, and Honorable Judges of Kerala High Court, Justice P. S. Gopinathan, retired Judge of this court, Advocate General Sri K. Gopalakrishnan, Additional Advocate General Sri K. P. Jayachandran and Sri Ashokam Cherian, Director General of Prosecution Sri T. A. Shaji, Additional Director General of Prosecution Sri Gracious Kuriakos, State Attorney Sri N. Manoj Kumar, Assistant Solicitor General Sri S. Manu, Senior Advocates Association President Sri N. N. Sugunapalan, Chairman of the Bar Council of Kerala Sri K. N. Anil Kumar, Sri K. Anand, Secretary Kerala High Court Advocates Association, Srimati P. K. Shantamma, President Kerala Federation of Women Lawyers, respected senior lawyers, esteemed members of the bar, Registrar General and Registrars of the Court, family members of Justice V. Shircy, and my dear friends. This day, and in particular this occasion, has preferred me a sea of emotions because we have gathered here to bid farewell to one of our beloved judges, Honorable Justice V. Shircy. Her ladyship started her career from a very humble background, and she has reached the zenith of legal profession. As she has mentioned once, that her connection with the judiciary started from her parents, both retired from the judicial department of the Kerala state government. I should say that they are the luckiest parents. All 4 children held enviable posts in their professional life. I am not going deep into her ladyship's early career, as the Advocate General has already mentioned it in detail. I would like to throw light on Justice Shircy's commitment as a judge from an advocate's point of view. Justice Shircy has followed an appreciable work culture, holding up the constitutional position. Work culture is a mix of values, traditions, beliefs, interaction, behavior, and attitude that contribute to the emotional and relational environment of the workplace. Such factors are generally unspoken and unwritten rules that helps to form bond between judges and advocates. Especially during COVID pandemic and afterwards, we really struggle hard for the smooth functioning of the judicial system. During the days of such chaos and confusion, Justice Shircy always stood there for the advocate fraternity, and it was a need of the hour. I have personally witnessed the kind attitude of Justice Shircy towards junior lawyers too. The concern of Justice Shircy towards society, in particular in the offences against women and children, is discernible from the reported judgments of Justice Shircy while her ladyship was sitting in bail jurisdiction. Her ladyship took a very firm stand against such offenders. On the occasion of her ladyship being elevated to the bench as a judge of this Honorable High Court, I still remember her quoting the words of American political philosopher John Rawls. I quote, "Justice is best served when the most vulnerable in the society are benefited, and when lives are not shaped on the basis of person's birth, endowments, and related privileges or lack thereof, Law must have a human face, unquote. It was with this philosophy in heart, Justice Shircy made up her mind to discharge her responsibilities and duties as a judge of the sacred institution, and her ladyship has never deviated from that principle. Another important point to be highlighted about her ladyship is that her ladyship strictly abide by the working hours of the High Court. Justice Shircy starts sitting invariably at 10:15 a.m. and in the afternoon session at 1:45 p.m. and rises after completing the list of cases before ladyship. Justice Shircy never insisted on limiting the number of case files to be listed to 20 or 30 and never left the premises of this court before the working hours are over. Justice Shircy is well aware that adorning the highest post in the state judiciary is not a bed of roses and is not as simple as boarding in a resort for relaxation, but a responsibility entrusted by the Constitution of India. Apart from Justice Shircy, we have great judges working 24/7 in this court. We have seen judges struggling to finish the list before them beyond their court hours, and we know even after the working hours, our great judges burn the midnight oil for the betterment of their work. That is the reason why the judgment of Kerala High Court has a goodwill and reputation and remains unaltered and getting appreciation when challenged before the apex court. This phenomenon is right there from the inception of this great institution and continued till date. In this August gathering of all the judges of this court and the legal fraternity, as a president of the Kerala High Court Advocate Association, I would like to extend our wholehearted support to the judiciary in these days of turbulence. When I speak the word turbulence, I mean the senseless media trial mocking the judicial system. Even yesterday, I witnessed such an absurd and irrational discussion regarding granting of a bail. It is high time to stop the encroachment of media into the judicial system by prescribing standards for such discussions. With a great sigh of relief and happiness, Justice Shircy is going to be an Ernakulam resident, which is within the vicinity of this honorable court, and I expect her ladyship's cooperation and support in our future endeavors. With a heavy heart today, we are here to bid your lordship farewell, and we are all going to miss you. Thank you.
Honorable Justice Shircy, my esteemed sisters and brothers of the full court, Mr. P.S. Gopinathan, Justice P.S. Gopinathan, retired judge of this court, Learned Advocate General Sri Gopalakrishna, respected President of the High Court Advocates Association, Sri Rajesh Vijayan, Senior Counsel, Government of India, Taxes, Assistant Solicitor General of India, Additional Advocates General, Director General of Prosecution, Law Officers of the State and the Union Government, Chairman Bar Council of Kerala, President of the Senior Advocates Association, President of the Kerala Federation of Women Lawyers, Senior Advocates, my dear friends at the bar, Registrar General, other registrars of the High Court, Dr. Balachandran and other family members of Justice Shircy, staff of the High Court, members of the Advocates Clerks Association, ladies and gentlemen. Justice Shircy is demitting office after more than 3 decades of judicial service, of which the last 6 years was as a judge of this court. We are assembled here to recall the dedicated service rendered by her and to bid her well in the coming years. The Kerala State Judiciary loses a fine judge who carried herself with dignity and remarkable poise, and the gain is exclusively of her family. She was born on 31/5/1960 to Sri K.V. Vasu and Srimati P.T. Saraswati, both of whom were in the judicial service and retired as Residar and Central Nasir from the CJM's Court and District Court Todupuzha respectively. In her childhood, she had the company of 3 siblings, all of whom did well in life and also in their respective professions. Her eldest sister, Dr. Shirley Vasu, a forensic expert of renown, retired as Principal Government Medical College, Thrissur, and brother Sri Maxwell, retired as Chief Manager, State Bank of India. Srimati Shaini B., her younger sister, was also a member of our judiciary, but sadly passed away in the month of February 2021. Justice Shircy was appointed as Municip on 11/7/1988 at Pathanamthitta, served as Municip Magistrate at Perambra, and was promoted as Sub-Judge, in which capacity she served in various districts. She also served as Chief Judicial Magistrate at Thrissur before joining the Higher Judicial Service as District Judge. She served as a Family Court Judge and Additional District Judge before being appointed as a Principal District Judge, first at Manjeri, then Talasheri, and last at Thiruvananthapuram. While in her last tenure in the Higher Judicial Service, she was the chairperson of the Administrative Committee of Sri Patnam Swami Temple. Justice Shircy was sworn in as Additional Judge of this court on 5/10/2016 and as a permanent judge on 16/3/2018. In her tenure in this court, she has delivered landmark judgments, both as a member of the division bench and as a single judge. The law journals bear testimony of her erudition and keen sense of justice, grounded in the fundamentals of law, always tinged with compassion. In this court, she has also proved a vital in constitutional law in the various jurisdictions. I myself had an opportunity to sit with Justice Shircy in a division bench, though only in consideration of review petitions, but always cherished the few moments I spent with her on the bench and in discussions. She was a vibrant presence in the full court and carried with her the rich experience she had in the district judiciary. She had also been a member of various committees which were enriched by her knowledge of the intricate working of the judicial system in the state. The acceptance speech of Justice Shircy quoted John Rawls, the political philosopher, adopting the exhortation that the law must have a human face. Her judgments reflect a legal philosophy engraved in the learned judge, standing proof of the humane touch she employed in justice delivery. We have with us the family of Justice Shircy, her husband, Dr. Balachandran, retired principal of Medical College, Thrissur, and daughter, Advocate Namita Neetu Balachandran, who will now walk the corridors of this court too. When I met Justice Shircy in her chambers and asked about her future plans, her face lit up and she fondly spoke about her home and how she intends to bestow more attention to every nook and corner. Retirement, it is said, is when you stop living at work and start working on living. I, on behalf of the Honorable the Chief Justice, myself and the sister and brother judges, wish our dear sister the best in the life ahead. Good health, good cheer, and deep contentment.
Honorable Mr. Justice K. Vinod Chandran, esteemed brother and sister judges of the High Court, former Judge Justice P.S. Govinathan, Sri Gopalakrishnapuram, the learned Advocate General, Sri Rajesh Vijayan, the President of the Kerala High Court Advocates Association, Sri K. Anil Kumar, the Chairman, Bar Council of Kerala, Sri S. Manu, the learned Assistant Solicitor General of India, Sri P.K. Ravindranathan Menon, the Senior Central Government Standing Counsel for Taxes, Sri N.N. Sugunapalan, the President of the Kerala High Court Senior Advocates Association, Srimati P.K. Shandamma, the President of the Kerala Federation of Women Lawyers, Kerala High Court Unit, Sri Ashokam Cherian, Sri K.P. Jayachandran, the Learned Advocate General, Sri T.A. Shaji, the Learned Director General of Prosecution, Sri Gracious Kyriakos, the Learned Additional Director General of Prosecution, Sri N. Manoj Kumar, State Attorney, Sri P. Krishna Kumar, Registrar General, and the other registrars, Director of Kerala Judicial Academy, Srimati Shalina V.G. Nair, the Director of IT Department, Sri Nisar Ahmad, Member Secretary, Kerala State Legal Services Authority, Sri Johnny Sebastian, Director, Kerala State Mediation and Conciliation Center, learned law officers of the Union and the State, learned members of the High Court Bar Association, judicial members of the District Judiciary, members of staff of the High Court, advocate clerks, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to all. Let me first of all thank the Almighty for having showered His blessings on me and my family in abundance. Due to personal inconvenience of our Chief Justice, Mr. Justice S. Manikumar, is not present today, I take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to the Honorable Chief Justice for the kind support given to me during my tenure as a judge of this court. With all humility, I express my sincere thanks and gratitude for the warm words of appreciation spoken about me by the Honorable Justice K. Vinod Chandran, the Learned Advocate General and the President of the High Court Advocates Association. On 11/7/1988, I started my judicial career as a municip after completing my training from Directorate of Training under the able guidance of Justice B.M. Tulasidas, the then Director of Training. My brother judges, Justice P. Ubaid, Justice K. Abraham Matthew, Justice A.M. Babu, Justice Ashok Menon, and Sister Justice Annie John were also of the same batch. Ours was the first batch recruited by the High Court of Kerala directly. The intensive training, which stretched for 3 months, molded the trainees as judicial officers. So, with much confidence, I took charge as Munsif Pathanamthitta. During my 28 years of career as a judicial officer, I had the opportunity to work in different capacities in different stations. And when Brother Justice Sunil Thomas was elevated as a judge of this court, I was posted as a district judge in Thiruvananthapuram. I was really lucky enough to be the chairperson of the administrative committee of Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple for more than a year. With the blessings of Lord Padmanabha, I was elevated as a judge of this high temple of justice on 5/10/2016. My special thanks are due to Justice Ashok Bhushan, the then Chief Justice of the High Court of Kerala, subsequently elevated to the Supreme Court, and the members of the Collegium for the confidence reposed in me and for recommending my name as a judge of this court. I had the privilege to share the bench with almost all the senior judges during my initial days, and my first sitting was with Justice Anthony Dominic. Though the jurisdiction was not a subject familiar to me, I was quite comfortable because of the guidance and immense support I received from Justice Anthony Dominic. Let me thank all the senior judges with whom I shared the bench for the immense help, guidance, and support extended to me. I also received support, affection from all my esteemed brother and sister judges. I am extremely grateful to all of them. The wholehearted support offered to me and the assistance I received from the dynamic and vibrant lawyers of this bar, both seniors and juniors, aided me in discharging my duties and responsibilities as a judge of this prestigious institution for the last 5 years and 8 months. My special thanks to all of them, and I wish each and everyone good luck. I would also like to thank the law officers, both state and center, for performing their duties with utmost sincerity. Every citizen of India looks upon judiciary with hope and expectation that they will get justice from the courts, and it is for the judges to fulfill their hope by exercising their jurisdiction with legal excellence and impartiality. The credibility of the judicial system depends to a large extent on the belief of the common man that they would get justice from the judiciary, which should not be allowed to be eroded by anyone by any means. It is admitted on all hands that the Kerala judiciary is one of the best in Indian judiciary. I am fortunate to have been a part of Kerala judiciary for a period of 33 years and 10 months. The experience I acquired from district judiciary was excellent. I would like to thank all my colleagues, the members of staff, and the advocate friends of different bar associations who rendered help and unconditional support during my tenure as a judicial officer to discharge the duties entrusted to me. All of them are in my heart, and I remember them with great gratitude. Both my parents were ministerial staff of the district judiciary. With their prayers, blessings, and encouragement, I started my career. Now I am stepping down with full satisfaction and happiness. The only grief in my heart at this time is the untimely departure of my beloved sister, Shiny. I honestly believe that the experience I gathered from Advocate Sri K.T. Thomas of Thodupuzha Bar, my senior, a highly disciplined man, the good qualities like integrity, discipline, hard work, and punctuality I accomplished under his guidance helped me day one on performing my duties as a judge. My pranams to my respected senior. My special thanks to Krishna Kumar, Registrar General, P.J. Vincent, Officer on Special Duty, and all other registrars. My sincere thanks to Sri T.S. Arun, the Public Relations Officer and his team, Sri Ashok, Protocol Officer and his team, Srimati Deepa V, the Chief Librarian and her team. All of them are very much committed to their duties. My best wishes to them. Earlier, my private secretary was Srimati Shobana Kumari, who retired 3 years back. I always remember her with great gratitude. My present private secretary is Srimati Bindu, I could discharge my duties only because of her sincere and excellent work. I would like to express my deep gratitude towards her for her hard work with dedication. Under her guidance, Srimati Sabara MM, Srimati Sarida Mohan, Srimati Mrudula PA to judge have done excellent work. I am really grateful to all of them. Srimati Srija, my former court officer, Srimati Sajina, my present court officer, and Sri Anish, my listing officer, have done commendable job. It was really a pleasure to work with them. My heartfelt thanks are due to them. Sri Saju K. Verghese, the security officer of this court, Sri Rajesh NC, and Sri Manish KM, my personal security officers, perform their duties with all sincerity. Sri Afsal Andrew, Sri Muhammad Sali, Sri Akhil Mohan, and Rahul Krishnan are the police personnel deployed as security guards. I express my deep appreciation for the service rendered to me by all of them. I was also always tension-free and safe to travel with my chauffeur Sri Girish Kumar Payan. My personal staff Sri Laushan, escort attendant, Srimati Rani K, Sri Kannan D, office attendants, and Tuksana, part-time sweeper, also performed their duties perfectly. Srimati Ledamani OV was with me for the last 23 years before she joined as Sevak. She was taking care of my family. Thanks are due to all of them for their abundant assistance. I wish all of them best in their life. My special wishes to all the judicial officers in the district judiciary for a very successful career and life. My sincere thanks and wishes to my esteemed brother and sister judges and their families. Best wishes and goodbye to all the learned educate friends. My best wishes to all the members of staff of this court and educate clerks. My sincere and deep gratitude to my dear husband, Dr. Balachandran, our daughter, Advocate Namida Nidu Balachandran, and all members of my extended family, especially my sister, brother, brother-in-laws, and sister-in-law, and our children for their unreserved support, encouragement, and unstinted love showered on me throughout my life. On this solemn occasion, I once again wholeheartedly thank our Chief Justice Sri Manikumar for having given me a rare opportunity to share a full bench of lady judges headed by Justice Anu Shivaraman and with Justice M.R. Anida. Whether it happened accidentally or not, it was on International Women's Day. For the year 2022, the UN given theme is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. I cherish the memories of that day. The court hall was packed with lady advocates. The staff deployed to assist us were also ladies. The argument was opened by a lady advocate, Srimati Srilada MR, the special government leader. For us, it was really a day worth remembering. At this moment, with great pride, I remember the late Justice Anna Chandi, the first lady judge of the High Court of Kerala, and the other lady judges who adorned the seat of justice and discharged the solemn functions of this honorable court, as well Justice Fatima B.B., the first lady judge of the Supreme Court of India. I hope that more and more ladies would be elevated to the high bench to uphold and add to the glory of this prestigious institution in the future. I leave this temple of justice with a full heart and full job satisfaction. Goodbye. Thank you. Jai Hind.
എന്തോന്നറിയില്ല ചോദിക്കണേ ഒരു ഇനി ചിലപ്പോൾ കാണില്ല ഇവരുടെ പാർട്ടി വേറെ നിങ്ങളുടെ എത്ര നാളെ മുക്കാലില്ല ഇനി അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നടക്കുക